complete at any place, any time. But the Qadi said, death took him before he was able to complete his work. He added, the Muslim citizens of the State of Israel join in the sorrow of the government, the Knesset, and the Jewish people as a whole on this tragedy which has befallen them. We present before God our prayer that his soul may reside in paradise. May God grant the leaders of the State of Israel strength and courage to continue in the path of their distinguished leader.
The Qadi of Jaffa and the head of the Greek Orthodox community in Israel, Archbishop Yusuf Ria.
I learned this morning with great sadness of the passing away of our Prime Minister, Mr. Levi Eshkol. The whole Diocese of Galilee mourns his loss and will offer public prayers for the intentions of his family and the welfare of our government. May the Lord inspire our country to have a man of his stature, of his wisdom, and of his strength. We renew our pledge of allegiance and faithfulness to our government and our love to our public authority. Yeh Zechro Baruch.
And this statement was made by the acting dean of the diplomatic corps in Israel, the United States Ambassador Warworth Barber.
By the death of Levi Eshkol, Israel has lost one of its great leaders, and the world has lost a great statesman. As Ambassador of the United States and as acting dean of the diplomatic corps in Israel, I have expressed to Foreign Minister Eban the sorrow which we all feel at his passing. Mr. Eshkol was, moreover, a close personal friend with whom I have had the honor to work for a number of years. Always a staunch representative of his own country, he was at the same time a friend of the United States and the American people, and we will sorely miss him.
In the Knesset, Israel's parliament, when the news was broken over Kol Israel, was our parliamentary reporter, Asher Walfish.
The moment the news came over the radio in the members' lounge at 10 o'clock, the Knesset was as though stunned. There were so many questions, and for the time being so few answers. The day's agenda in the House was cancelled. The session, which started at 11:30, was a most moving 5-minute affair during which everybody stood in silence, the heads bowed, while Speaker Qadi Sluz made his formal announcement of the Prime Minister's death. Mr. Luz had great difficulty in controlling his voice as he very briefly sketched a few highlights of the late Mr. Eshkol's career. Both were founding members of Kibbutz Degania Bet 48 years ago, so it was natural for the speaker to lay great stress on Mr. Eshkol's very many personal friends and on his big contribution to pioneering and farm settlement. When Mr. Luz finished, nobody stirred as he had strode out of the chamber. Then the members lingered long inside, people from different factions intermingling, talking of the past and the future in a sort of amorphous combination. The people upstairs in the visitors' gallery knew that it was all over, but they strangely didn't move either, as though the bewilderment of the Knesset members and their obvious grief held them in a spell.
One of Levi Eshkol's closest friends and associates, Secretary of the Israel Labour Party, Pinchas Sapir, had these few words for the late Prime Minister.
And my friend and teacher, Prime Minister Levi Eshkol, he like a bolt out of the blue. From those who were close to him and from working with him 33 years, I know of his life in Israel from the day he arrived as a youth until his very last days. During this time, great events took place in which he played a central role in settlement, the rescue of Jews from Nazi Germany, the founding of the Haganah, and the leadership of the labor movement and the people. I knew Levi Eshkol not only as a leader, but also as a friend. I came to know all of his magnificent qualities in the most difficult times, he never despaired. Indeed, it was then that he inspired others. In the west part of his life, he bore the burden of being Prime Minister for 6 years. I saw how he struggled with himself to accept the great responsibility. He knew that he was Prime Minister and Minister of Defense were years of great events, magnificent achievements, and the Six-Day War was the climax of his work. Much has been said and will be said in his role of uniting the labor movement.
Cables of condolence have been received from all over the world, and in many capitals leaders have expressed their sorrow. This statement was made for former American President Lyndon Johnson by his executive secretary.
The death of Prime Minister Levi Eshkol leaves a void on this spirit. Israel has lost one of her bravest leaders. America has lost a staunch and worthy friend. And the world has lost one of freedom's most vigorous champions. I treasure the memory of my personal friendship with him and all the numerous visits we shared. As American citizens, bound by ties of deep feeling to the people of Israel, Mrs. Johnson and I join with them in mourning the passing of this brilliant, able, and dedicated leader who gave so much of himself to their cause. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his beloved wife and pray that God will sustain her in this dark hour.
You have been listening to Call Israel, the voice of Israel, broadcasting from Jerusalem in a special series of daily experimental broadcasts to the United States and Canada. Listeners are invited to send their reception reports on this program to Call Israel, Jerusalem, Israel, letting us know the local time of reception. We shall be on the air again tomorrow at the same time, 400 hours Greenwich Mean Time, on 33.3 meters, 9,009 kilocycles. To all our listeners, shalom from Jerusalem. This is Call Israel, the voice of Israel.
Alright, well, I'm going to have to wait a moment here. And wait. My terrible. I'm going to have to wait a moment here. Bye. Let's turn this off. I'm getting feedback. Here we go. My terrible voice. Hey, listen, folks. Shnodhapomaim. Anyway, let's see. This should be, there's sort of a delay, and I was listening to this through the, through my iPad, and a terrible voice comes back. Sounds absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. What can I tell you? Let's see here. It should be ready by now. Cross your fingers. And, how the hell do I do this? Please be up there, please. You're not up there. And it's still processing. You son of a gun. Well, what can I do in the meantime? Keep y'all's ears occupied. I'm waiting for a file to process. I got a hour's worth of what I think maybe comedy stuff if I found the right file. But this thing just want to process and process and process and process. I mean, how I realize maybe it's because it's the time of night. Everybody's trying to upload stuff. But hey, it shouldn't take that long. I'm scratching away like crazy. Okay, if this doesn't come up in a few moments, I am going to have to find something to put on for the moment. Something that ain't too long. And, take off Facebook here. I don't need to be looking at Facebook at the moment. This is not processing. You skunk. You blasted skunk. Let's have a little fun here. Let's see what we got here. Let's fiddle around with these things here. I got some interesting sound files I want to check out here. Let's see what we got. Okay. Wait a minute. It's not uploading. You skunk. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do in the meantime. Since I'm waiting for something to upload here, and it might be fun listening. In fact, it is, if it is what I think it is. I did my counting right, and to find the right track. Here, what I'll do. I'll play this. I've played this before. Probably this will be the 6th time. And while this file is uploading, I'll play this nice song. It's French song, Jacques Andre. Translated, I will wait. It's because we are waiting, and that's why I'm putting this on. So while this is uploading, and we can bring down, some of the old-fashioned comedy, well, I have no other choice but to put something on in the meantime. Here we go. French song, and then we'll see if that thing finally uploaded. Here we go.
Become very popular. J'attendrai. J'attendrai le jour et la nuit, j'attendrai toujours ton retour. J'attendrai, car l'oiseau qui s'enfuit vient chercher l'oubli dans son nid. Le temps passe et court en battant tristement dans mon cœur plus lourd. Et pourtant j'attendrai ton retour. Reviens bien vite, les jours